Well, hello and welcome everybody on tonight's presentation here live from Dubai. And we have again on board Ryan Messer from United States. I think, Ryan, you are in Houston right now, or are you in Atlanta?
I'm in Atlanta at the moment.
All right. Well, nice. And we have Bill, of course, here. Bill also in Dubai, like myself. So I hope the connection is going to be good tonight. And I know some of you folks thought it's going to start an hour earlier, so apologize for that. Somehow there was probably time zone changing again, but it was supposed to be 7 p.m. UK time. So apologize for those people who thought, or basically it was a different time zone. But let's get started today. We're going to have obviously talking a little bit more about STORH, have Ryan on the call, having some question answered, of course, from him, which have been coming out this week. And we're going to also present you the compensation plan, the new developed compensation plan of Utopian Global. So we're going to do that in the second part of this tonight's call, basically here. Yeah, so let's get started. Ryan, Bill, great to have you both on the call. How is the development going in STORH? How is the development going on? I know a lot of people asking on the white paper. When is the white paper coming out? When is the website going live? But I know there's a lot of things happening. It was, of course, Thanksgiving this week, so you all celebrated that. You've got to have a little break on that. But how is everything going there?
From my perspective, great. As everyone's aware, we keep talking about the release of the white paper. It's being formatted now. So version 1 has been drafted. I'm already working, well, I'll call it version 1. It's probably version 9. But the first release of the white paper is being drafted, or it's actually being formatted, nice graphics and everything laid out. But I've already started to work on version 2. So there's going to be additional detail. I'm actually having an editor of a cryptocurrency website. He's the editor-in-chief. He's going to be reviewing our white paper, being very critical of it, because I need that. I need that critical feedback. What details is it missing? What could we expand on? How could we make it better? So though we will be putting out version 1 sometime, I'm not going to say this week. I hope it's this week, but most likely next week. There'll be another version coming behind it. So there'll be updates and various things that come out. But other than that, fantastic. I think the market is it's a great time to be buying and acquiring production. I believe we have a final agreed on price for our first asset acquisition. It's very promising in terms of what we're able to pick it up for. So even though we've been delayed here over the last few months getting our soft launch for STORH out there, or I guess our pre-launch ready, it's actually been a blessing in some ways. So it's actually pushing us to get some other things done and lined up. So we're moving quick. Everything's kind of moving quick now. Bill, what are your thoughts?
You are, Ryan. It's absolutely. I mean, these things. It's very, very important. I just finished having a meeting with a banker here in Dubai, a very, very experienced international banker, been involved with tangible assets in the form of gold and silver, multi-generational merchant trader, whether it be rice, tea, those types of things, coffee. Exceptionally experienced man. So we're speaking about the project, and yes, I think he'll be coming out in January to meet you as well, Ryan. He finds this anything in today's world which is tangible, that is real, and is going to give a return, and it's something that has a demand, and is transparent. And such returns we're speaking of, in one sense, it's fantastic returns. On the other side, it's a safe investment, given its history and given its projections going forward. So no, I wish everything was out yesterday, like the market, I suppose. But good things take time. As you know, Ryan, being a CEO of public companies and drilling over 200 wells, it's sometimes it takes time to cultivate and sow the right seeds. So we're getting there. We're very, very close.
Yeah, I think timing is everything, and I think people. I think just generally speaking, people are kind of impatient, just generally speaking, and I include myself in that. And so I get it, you know, but this last year has been a great year to really plan and get it right. And one of the things I love when you and I catch up, and Claudia, we talk about purpose, and we talk about a, you know, purpose-driven opportunity, and this is really that, right? I mean, this is really why I think we reconnected, and why I think this is such a good opportunity for us. And I've really latched on to your philosophy there around building, you know, a purpose-driven opportunity. So thanks for that.
Actually, Ryan, this is a good question. This is a good question to interject here, because this is a question I actually get a lot now when talking to people, and that is, you know, well, you could just, or we could go easily out and have a few investors with big money coming in, and you know, they like to have a stable, solid deal, of course, like this, and we wouldn't have to worry all those small people, not small people, meaning smaller amounts coming in. Why would you do it like this way? So you get the question, of course, a lot, because the project is a very, very amazing and solid project and long-term project. So people ask that, well, why would you not just go out with, you have a few really big guys coming in, which are easily to get, showing the project you have, but why did we decide actually to do it through, of course, Bill's company, and launch that way, so to build it?
For a few reasons. I mean, I think we could definitely do that. We could go outside for private equity. In fact, I've got several guys. In fact, one of the guys that we have a strategic relationship with, you'll see him in the white paper. I mean, he was like, look, I'll come in and buy half of the project myself. And I said, well, geez, I mean, that just sort of absorbs it and doesn't give us the foundation that we need for this company. I mean, people need an opportunity to get ahead, right? I mean, people need real opportunities, not, I mean, I think this is just unfortunate what's happened. I mean, in the cryptocurrency space, I invested in cryptocurrency, had my own mine, I had Genesis mining contracts, I did some trading myself, and it's, you know, it's unfortunate sort of what happened. And so I think for people, really, this is the next phase, is to understand, now this is real investing. This is investing in real tangible businesses and assets that have a need behind them. And I think that is the mission, right? The mission is to get this in front of more people than less people. Because I think, yeah, and I mean, Bill, please expand on that concept, because it was really your vision. I mean, you're the one who reached out to me really and said, Ryan, we need to go a different direction here. I mean, here you are, you've been in the energy business for nearly 20 years. Let's take that and package your experience, not only your experience, but your team's experience. I mean, maybe touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right, Ryan. I mean, it comes back to intention. It comes back to purpose. And it really comes back to my experience of the 1990s. Markets changed very quick. The dot-com boom changed very, very, very quick. We're into a different market. All of a sudden, we were into hard metals, precious metals, which was a strong bull market. And we had a very strong crypto environment in 2017, especially for miners. It was, you know, what, 3, 4, 5x in some cases for many people. And you only yourself, you know, mini mining farm yourself, Ryan, you know exactly what the situation was last year. It was awesome. But of course, early part of this year, that situation changed drastically. One thing I've known from business, you know, you've got to keep moving. Cycles come and go, things change, so you can either be stuck there and cry over these cyclical changes, or you become involved with the change. You get on board with the next trend, which is really important. And of course, our experience, myself, purchased a lot of terahash, as you did, and as everyone on this call did, our family and friends, of course. It's only logical that, you know, in one sense, if we can offer people, you know, mining into terahash for mining cryptocurrency, why can't we offer them mining in a natural resource asset with an experienced team, where myself had invested $1 million back in 2004. That was with your energy associated company, Ryan. and to be able to go into a new cycle, which is going to be a trend for decades to come, with low risk assets, it was a bit of a no-brainer. But for us to come up with this idea, we probably had to experience the 2018 crypto change. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been searching for ideas in one sense. Now, we could have just gone, of course, as you said, investors knocking on our door to actually do it. But what are we serving? That's not the purpose of, that was never the purpose of Swiss Gold Global or the purpose of Utopian in one sense, is to service just a few people. We want to be able to bring these natural resource assets, which are normally made available to unique people in a club or in a group, in a network in one sense, bring them to ordinary people, just like we brought precious metals to ordinary people around the world, regardless of your status or where you actually are. You have the access, ability to owning precious metals, to be able to earn an income, to be able to convert on our exchange primarily between cryptocurrencies, tangible assets, gold and silver, and of course the affiliate income. Now we're extending that into the natural resource sector, and with your team and your experience, it's a natural thing because we don't have a short-term vision on this. This is the first asset for many assets to come, and we've been around for 10 years. And our next 1-year plan, our next 3-year plan is very exciting. 5 years, 10 years, this is generational. And what really stood out in the trip in Houston, and many of the people who went to the Houston trip with us, was the fact that, you know, these sites, they have a long history of generating income from legacy assets such as the natural resources, and the projections there for the next 25, 30 years. But beyond that, they've already been paying out royalties to families for multi-generations. Nearly 900 checks, I think, royalty checks go out each month to families who are associated with these particular assets. So why not offer this to a group of people on a global market, on a global scale in the affiliate marketing sequence? It's a bit of a no-brainer, and it's something that's new. I mean, there's many tokens, there's many concepts out there which are backed by air. So to us to be able to come with an experienced team such as yourselves, that's really the asset, and have the asset behind the asset, which is the natural resources, is truly unique. And the third part of that, of course, is cash flow generating income. But it's not a quick rich program. You know, it's not a quick rich program. So people who may be coming here, even though the returns are fantastic, there's a time to cultivate, there's a time to sow, and there's a time to reap. And we're in the cultivating stage right now, but I can assure you, if we're doing this right with the right team, the harvest is going to be fantastic. Not just one harvest, multiple harvests for a long period of time. That's really what our mission is. So it comes back to the intention and purpose. So that's my long answer for a short question, Claudia.
And Bill, for that long answer, I have now actually Randall on the call. So Ryan, you may want to introduce Randall. I just muted him, but I will unmute him, of course, in a second. So Randall is your business partner. So please introduce, of course, your business partner. That would be great.
Sure. No, I'm happy to. Randall's been through this project like we have for the last year and some change. He's been watching our progress and being involved in the background. He's kind of let me, I guess, sort of lead the charge and put this together, but he's been involved in every step of the way and behind the scenes. And Randall is a very, very accomplished gentleman, been in the business for about a decade. Randall and I actually go back to a field that I operated out in Rogers County, Oklahoma. It was a gas field. We did have some production, and Randall was introduced to me by our contract operator. Randall actually marketed our crude and some of our natural gas out in Rogers County. So we actually go back quite a ways as well, but reconnected a couple of years ago and merged our entities together. So I was on the upstream side, and when you get the white paper, you'll get a sense of where these various sectors fall in. And then Randall spent his entire career on the midstream side. So maybe there's Randall Eddington. Randall, maybe just give a little bit of your history as well, and just a little bit of background for everyone.
Yeah. First, I want to be sure everyone can hear me.
Yeah, okay. Good.
Good deal. Yeah. So like Ryan said, we met several years ago, and as life would have it, we kind of came back across each other. You know, Ryan, of course, being on the upstream side, and me on the midstream, and we both had interest in getting into each other's kind of sides of the business. Upstream for my side, and Ryan wanted to get into the midstream, and and understand a little more of that. And so we teamed back up and had always got along real well. And it was great timing because we both progressed in our careers a lot. So starting out in the midstream space, started out, like Ryan said, about 10 years ago. Had a hand in building several crude oil terminals over the last few years. Also had a hand in building 2 NGL, natural gas liquid stabilizers, one in the Gulf Coast in Louisiana and one in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, where we took in NGLs. We also, of course, besides stabilizing that product, we separated all the byproducts of that product and kind of learned, I guess you could call it trial by fire, just kind of thrown into the mix, and that's the best way to learn a lot of times with those things. So it forced me to learn a lot of things, and since then, we've taken a lot of those business relationships and customer relationships and continued to build on them, took them with us as we built BlackRock and Source Rock, and are doing kind of the same things, building crude stations, blending stations, and basically getting all the value out of the different types of crude oil there are in the different areas of the mid-continent of the United States. So I think that hopefully gives you a little bit of background on what I do. But I basically handled during that time about 80,000 barrels a day of crude, so not a small amount by any means. And getting that to the right spec for refineries is not necessarily an easy job. It takes 7 days a week and 24 hours a day.
Yeah. So as I guess people have seen in our presentation or parts of our presentation, midstream is an important part to the mix, right? It's the transportation, it's the logistics, it's the marketing of, what we call legacy energy resources. So be oil and natural gas. From a natural gas perspective, midstream is going to play a huge role in what we do, because for us, getting to scale, in other words, getting to a size where we can put our own infrastructure in place and manage our own infrastructure. And as Randall said, he talked about NGL, so natural gas liquids, all those liquids that are different income streams that can be stripped from the natural gas that can also be sold to market. So, and a lot of times when in various projects, and I've been in projects where, where you didn't have enough capital, or you couldn't get to scale, and essentially you got a discount to the market. So when you sold your natural gas, they would basically give you a haircut, and then they would take your natural gas and strip all the liquids out because they had the plant, and you couldn't afford to get to scale to do that. And so when we talk about minerals to market on our natural gas side as part of our strategic risk mitigation strategy on the legacy energy resource side, midstream is going to play a big part. And then there are a couple of important key initiatives that are going on in the crude oil space where we don't have to take a lot of risk. And maybe Randall, you could just kind of touch on that real quick about, opportunities that exist in our day-to-day business, right? So how do we make money on a fixed margin basis and tariff, based pipeline opportunities?
Yeah, so I'll tell you our business now and how our contracts work. That we don't operate based on what the oil price is. So we're going to make that margin whether it's $90 or it's $50. They can vary a little bit, but we back-to-back all our contracts. What we sell it for, is already set. What we buy it for, we go set to make sure that we have a set margin. And those can vary slightly in terms of the discounts to the product. So we can gain margin more than we can lose margin, right? So we got and constantly try and find discounted product. The condensates that come from those NGLs, when they're stripped of the ethanes and butanes, a byproduct of that is, think of boiling a pot of water and putting a lid on it. Those little drips of water, it's essentially the same thing. That's what condensate is. That's a byproduct of natural gas. So we buy that for $13, $14, and $15 discounts and blend it with the expensive crude. And and take our margins from a several dollars to nearly double that. And that's been the case right now in the market. There's been an influx with these shell producers of a lot of high gravity condensate, and there's nowhere to go with it. So the best place to go is to us. We can certainly handle it and blend it and make a nice margin. And the other side of that is, of course, the movement of the crude. So there's trucks right now, and pipelines and rail. Rail is not a good long-term structure. Rail is great for the time being when there's spreads there, but the ultimate goal is to get crude onto pipeline. It's cheaper, it's faster, and it's safer. It doesn't have to be handled as many times. So some of the opportunities just through our relationships with our producer customers they want to be pipeline connected. They want their production connected at the tank or at the well site and taken to market, and from there us handle it. So we've been approached a dozen times about going, hey, can you guys work with us on this? We'll front some of the capital if you can just get us pipeline connected to your facilities. And in terms of comparing a truck economics to those pipe economics, you're saving yourself $3, $4, $5. So you can pass some on to the producer, but as far as us as a midstream, not having that truck cost in it, now we've taken a $5, $6 margin and we've made it $8 to $12 margin, just cutting out the trucks. So it's relationship, of course, these guys approaching us approaching them, but it's crucial. And that's where, if you've read all the reports in the Permian, for 2019, there's an additional 2 million barrels a day of pipe capacity. We want to be a part of that, and we want to stay in front of that, so we're not left behind. And so that's why we're constantly talking to the guys, making sure that they know we are committed to helping them out, but also helping us out. But we are committed to getting their product on pipe and doing long-term deals. We're not talking 6 months to a year. If we put in the assets and we put in the money, we're talking 5 to 10 year terms that we can just constantly have that cash flow coming through. And they would have a commitment with us as far as volume. If they don't hit their volume commitment, they then pay us a fee so that we don't eat all that ourselves. So
it's a beautiful position to be in when you are the market. So yeah, Claudia. Thanks, Randall. Appreciate it.
I was just saying, he just nailed it there, because a lot of the questions, of course, of the people is, we as people who are gonna basically buy the token, invest in the token, and where do we see each other in terms of profit of the company in the next 5 years going forward? So you just nailed it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Randall, nice to see you again there, Randall. You mentioned increases of $5 to $8 to $9 on the market when you're piping. That relates in percentage terms of anywhere 10, 15 to 20%. Would that be right? On the current price?
Yeah, that's about 15, 20%. Sure. Yep.
And that's a long way than the 1% the banks give you on your money. So it's pretty exciting numbers. In a sustainable model where the contract, as you just said, the contract is written in such a way where if the suppliers don't meet their quotas, they pay a penalty. So you're still getting your margin, which is essential. It's a perfect business model, actually.
Yeah. Well, in the industry, we call it basically a take or pay. So either you use that capacity or you pay. You pay us because you're not using it because we built that for you. And what that also opens up is, along those lines, those pipelines, you can add additional truck racks. So if something's not pipeline connected yet, you've got part of that production already pipe connected. You can truck other barrels in and blend with those barrels that are pipeline connected. And now you've got it where they're paying you a fee because they're not hitting their capacity. So you can use their capacity. You can go ahead and use it. So you're essentially doubling up at that point. They're paying you that fee, and then you go fill that pipe space, and now you're really talking some big money, and now you're talking big volumes, and it's a volume game.
So I'm going to leave the name out, but one of our bigger customers is a multi-billion-dollar public company, and they handle a lot of natural gas, and that's where the majority of our condensate comes from today. And so their goal is to, over the next few years, essentially put pipe in to market from all their facilities. So I think that's one of the opportunities that we're referring to, amongst a handful of others too. So essentially what you're doing is you're using reserves in the ground that aren't yours as the backing or the balance sheet behind the risk of building the pipeline and the balance sheet of the company. So that's the great thing about it. It's not just, it's not like you're just building a road from point A to point B and hoping that people drive on it. You've got a captive audience there, and your captive audience are those reserves. So it's a good opportunity.
And I must congratulate you, Randall and Ryan, for the STORH name. I just love it. You really nailed it on that. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right.
And one of the questions also is, I mean, it's more so a technical question, maybe Ryan, because he also, of course, a technician, is coming actually from Sean, and he's asking, ICO in conventional exchanges is basically not that secure, not that secure as people think. How secure will it be for STORH, Wallet, and exchange that is to come?
You mean crypto exchanges aren't that secure? Is that the preface of the question?
I guess so. How secure will be the STORH wallet? Yes, that's a question.
Well, I mean, the STORH wallet, you mean on a crypto exchange? Yeah, so that is where I guess when you think about Mt. Gox and some of the other ones that have been hacked in the past. Remember, most of these are socially engineered hacks, right? These aren't where someone's broken the cryptographic, hash and broken into a wallet. It's where someone's done something stupid, or someone from the inside was able to gain keys and access the wallet, or give it to someone else to access. But from our perspective, I mean, I guess the question is, are you wanting to hold them with an exchange? I mean, we're using an Ethereum 223 token, so we're going to be using an Ethereum-based wallet. And it'll be as secure as an Ethereum-based wallet. You'd be holding it in your own Ethereum wallet, not our own wallet. So to the extent that you wanted to trade it on an exchange, what you hold in a particular exchange account will be, subject to their own risk policy, not ours. But I can tell you that one of the reasons why we're looking at developing our own exchange, the only way that we would do that is if we couldn't get on one of the top tier exchanges that had a really strong, security policy, if you will. We don't want to put our token and make it subject to some of these. I mean, there are some of these exchanges that you don't know who the owners are. They're sort of fly by night. It could be gangsters, who knows? But we have no intention of listing our token being backed by tangible, real, bankable assets and put it on an exchange which is not credible. So that wouldn't be our intent.
And that's a good question from Sean, actually, Ryan. I mean, because it's an Ethereum-based token, it means it can also be stored in a hard wallet, couldn't it?
Correct. That is correct. And we'll put out some additional information. Some people have asked, why an Ethereum 223 versus ERC20 token. We'll put out some FAQ answers on why that is. It kind of gets into some more technical things, but there are some pathways in which you send Ethereum tokens forward and backwards between wallets where with an ERC20 token, they've gotten lost. It's not a huge problem, but it was just a problem that was rectified in the 223 code or whatever. But there are a handful of advantages to why we use ERC223. It's just like any technology. ERC20 was sort of the baseline, and ERC223 is just a better version of that, but it is backwards compatible. So it'll work with any ERC20 wallet, but it's an ERC223 token.
We could actually bring on our CTO in the future too, Ryan, to address this. Yeah.
Yep, I think it'd be great. Would love to have him on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. One of the questions is I'm getting a lot because we're talking about and as well as we have been talking about the past few calls actually about midstream, upstream, downstream. And since we have, of course, Randall on the call, Randall, in a few words, because it is a lot of course, to digest and for people. So, and I always say, you don't need to all the know the nitty-gritty details, but we have a lot of course, people on the call who want to know more. And since we have you here, maybe take this opportunity. In a nutshell, can you just explain for the people what midstream is?
Yeah, midstream is, simply is just the movement of that oil. So, to start upstream, it is the extraction of the oil or natural gas, right? So any movement of that oil or natural gas, be it pipeline, rail, or truck, that's midstream. Anything involved in the blending is midstream. So the movement of that crude, and crude, of course, means just virgin oil. Any movement involving that is midstream. That's the midstream space, storage included.
Fantastic. Where do you see, what is the most, when you look at, when you talk about midstream, upstream, downstream, or where's the most money to be made? That's what also some people ask. And I know I put you yesterday on the spot with a very smart petroleum engineer there. He's absolutely excited about the project, just to give you some feedback. He's definitely in, ask you a lot of questions, but loved, of course, the answer and the sincerity which he could actually feel in the call.
Sure. So as far as, when I talked about earlier, the guaranteed margin back-to-back in contracts, the midstream space is that. Are we watching oil prices? Sure we are. It matters in a sense that, hey, when oil prices are low, there's less drilling going on, right? So there's less volume to go around. But as far as otherwise, beyond that, we're still, if we're making revenues of anywhere from, $20-30 million a month, it's going to be $20-30 million a month if it's $20 a barrel. It's not going to change for us. So that's great. There's a risk in anything to a certain degree, but it is very, very low risk, and especially comparatively speaking, when you look at downstream, when you consider what downstream is, it's refineries, right? They're subject to crack spreads. What's it cost to actually crack that, make the products, the lubes, the actual diesel and gas, and those change quite a bit. So they don't have a guaranteed margin either, but we do. So it's, it sounds easy. It's not necessarily easy. It's all about aggregating that volume, which we've done ahead of time, right? We built this over the last 10 years, basically, by developing relationships. And so it was, one of those things where as we built this company and built it up, I'll tell you this, we didn't have to take on debt because of the margins we were making and the guaranteed margins we were making. We took on no debt. Everything we've built to this point has been all cash flow. So that should say something about what the midstream and the money involved, and no fears in going to build assets or buy trucks, because we know at the end of the day, we know we're cash flow positive. We don't have any debt out there, and we did it ourselves.
Yeah, and the other point is the two businesses are so different. I mean, one is absolutely dependent on the other, but there's no natural progression from being an operator and saying, oh, I'm producing oil and gas over here. Oh, I can't wait to get into the midstream space, because it is a completely different area. All of your technical talent that you have, your geophysicists, your geologists, your petroleum engineers, the majority of those guys aren't going to understand the midstream space either. It's expertise in the space. It's a lot of analysis. It's a lot of sort of broader markets, whereas oil and gas is very isolated to a particular region or a play. And so you become that little expert in that particular play, but as the midstream guy buying crude from that area, or that operator that operates in a particular region, we can move, if the markets are better in other areas, we could take that crude and move it hundreds of miles away because the spreads are better. And so I guess the two businesses are totally different, but as long as you're kind of playing the niche, you can't really say which is going to be more profitable than the other, because both are highly profitable in their own right. But it's finding that niche, it's finding that little crack in the market that you can fill because of your knowledge and your relationships and all those things. Those don't, your phone just doesn't ring one day and say, oh, you know what, that 1,000 barrels of crude that you're buying and selling to market A, you need to move it over and move it to market B. It's because of your relationships and the tenacity that you have to understand all the nuances of all the markets is the reason. It's the reason why you can take a 20% return and make it an 80-90%, internal rate of return. And it's not too different on the upstream side either. But
Ryan and Randall, I know Claudia was going to move ahead with this presentation. I know Charles is on the call joining us as well. Welcome to the call, Charles. One of the great marketers that's associated with our team as well. But let me just touch on a bit of a question as a layman. Okay, I remember when I first met you, Ryan, back in 2004, and I put a significant amount of money in. I thought to myself, I want to be, even though I'm much older than you, I want to be like this young guy. I want to position myself on the supply side of this energy sector. It's a bit of a no-brainer actually. Before that, I was just a consumer paying, but to be able to get associated, to get in a club or get into this network. I heard Randall use the word network before. To get involved in this network, which is not normally open for all people, to be able to position yourself on the supply side, I think as a strategic financial move in anyone's portfolio is very, very, very exciting. And this is really what we're doing here with STORH. We have a solid team, many years experience. I mean, you guys are relatively young guys, but between two of you, you've got nearly 30 years experience in the industry as well. Then you add on the geologists and the other people. We're talking, I think, over 100 years of experience in the white paper of the team that you're associated with. How, for the average person, I mean, they often say, your wealth can be judged by the closest 6 people that you associate yourself with. That's why I like to rub shoulders with you, Ryan, in one respect, and Randall and you guys. For our people on the call here, people on the Utopian Global call here, they're here for a purpose. Okay, they're going to put some of their own money, hard-working money, into this. They've had risk with crypto. Of course, looking at this, what is the risk of STORH? What is the future of STORH? And I think the network just is very different than the crypto. And we've learned from the crypto in one sense, and by being able to bring something that's real, it's tangible. Listening to Randall talk about the midstream, the opportunities, the margins, and your experience on the upstream as well, blending those two together. I think long term, maybe you just want to touch on the risk analysis of that. If you are looking at this for the very first time, how would you see it? I mean, you've also got a degree in economics, etc., Ryan. So, okay, you're in the position as the CEO. But what should we be looking for? If you weren't here, what should we be looking for the downside? I mean, is this a risky thing for people to get engaged in?
So that's a great question, because actually the gentleman, the petroleum engineer, asked that question yesterday in probably a different structured question. But the answer is, I understand all that. From a risk perspective, as a COO of a public company and now the CEO of this company, it's all about risk analysis. It's about weighing up the risk and developing a strategy that is ultimately going to give you downside protection, okay, but give you also a lot of upside potential. If all we wanted was upside potential, and I told you, look, you're going to put $1 in, and you know what, we're going to invest it, and 6 months later, you're going to know if it's going to make you, $400 from that $1 or nothing. That's a different strategy than what we're building here. We're building a long-term growth engine, so something that can generate cash flow for decades. So how do we do that, right? Well, we show that pyramid, and that's just a very rudimentary version of a true risk analysis, but it gives you the understanding that what we're putting into this thing foundationally is existing production that's been around for 80 years. It's going to be around for another 25 to 30 years as a foundational core asset. Is it an asset that I think we're going to be able to double our money in a year? Absolutely not. Okay, we put $1 in today. In about 4 or 5 years, we'll get that $1 back. But then over the life of the production, we'll get it back 5 or 6 times, and potentially more. So there's upside even in, and this is what the gentleman yesterday was sort of digging into, was that particular asset. And so we talked about, you know, what would be considered risky. And so in that case, for me, that is the least amount of risk that I can take in this business, being in the energy and natural resource space, is buying existing production. Do I love buying production? Not really. It's not my, it would never be my total strategy. Okay, let's go out and buy production. Because to me, it's very, very limited on the upside. Yes, we can make a multiple on our money, great, over time. It's a beautiful annuity. But for building a big organization with long-term growth, you have to have a foundation, just like a house. You pour a solid foundation. And then from that, you start to piece in other niche plays, midstream, the natural gas and minerals to market, sustainable services, which I think has tremendous upside, but is very similar to that of the midstream space. Randall is heavily involved in this project that we're looking at in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma has many issues that can be served by this particular service. And I think it will be the model for the unconventional resource place for the future. And then when we talk about to really get growth, you have to look at emerging markets. And so then we start looking at various things like, how do we apply technology to resources? Natural resources have been around for hundreds of years as we've been extracting them and using them and producing them and consuming them. But what are the new technologies that allow us to extract it in a more efficient way? So how do we extract it more cost efficiently, as well as in a more sustainable way? Because I think people have realized that the way things have been done in the past is not the right way. So there's a new mindset out there. And this is the high growth area. So we've handled the safe foundational issues. We've built in some core strategy or some core opportunities that'll provide significant upside. And then as we look to sustainable tech like wind and solar being the top two, you know, I think we've got a huge opportunity to make a lot of money in this business. So
okay, thanks Ryan. Thanks Randall. Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, I hope that answered the question. I sort of rambled, but anyway.
No, it's okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's good that the people just can see a response to these questions. It gives them a feeling of who we are, what we are, and that we're real, and you can actually ask these questions transparently, which is really important, I think. And you've responded to that. But I think we've only got a short period of time left, Claudia. You want to move into a presentation? I want to thank Randall for taking, and yourself, Ryan, for taking your time out in a very busy schedule today there in the US and joining us on this call. I really appreciate it, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it too.
So Claudia, back over to you.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks guys. Thanks guys so much for being on the call. Thank you, Randall. Looking forward to have you again another time on, and of course Ryan as well. So thank you. We release you now, so you can go back to your acquiring assets and looking and hunting for us assets. Yeah.
That's what we've done to help build this even further. So thanks again.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
really great. And thanks for the call yesterday with our oil and engineer.
Anytime.
Thank you. All right. So folks, what we're going to do now is, and I only have 15 minutes time. So we have Charles on the call as well. Charles with his team, they did actually prepare this wonderful, great presentation here, and lots of other things are going to come. Lots of other great tools are going to come out from that. So I'm going to just run over quickly over the presentation, but it should anyway be not longer than 15 minutes, because when you're sitting down, of course, with potential affiliates, of course, you shouldn't have to spend so much time explaining. In fact, the presentation should do its work basically for you. So with that, and Charles is logging in again. I guess he dropped out there maybe, or I don't know why. But Charles, if you wish to say something, you could just, I believe, I don't know, we didn't mute you, so you just could mute yourself if you wish to come on board, yeah? That is, of course, it would be wonderful. Otherwise, I'm just moving ahead here with the presentation, just checking if the audio is there. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not yet there because we are in Dubai, and yes, the internet is a little bit challenging, and yes, a lot of things are blocked here. But I do hope that the presentation, because it's really wonderful slides they prepared here, is going to move the way I wish it to move. So I have to speak a little bit slower here. So we're going to talk about the presentation of the compensation plan. Now, the compensation plan for the folks who are with Swissquote Global has slightly changed, has not that many changes in such. I mean, there have been changes, but there have been changes made which makes it way, way more profitable for you as a marketer out there share. Why? Well, because when you are doing that, that basically that job, that work and building up these contacts and promoting the information and gathering the knowledge and giving that knowledge further and teaching people how to do this business, well, you should be rewarded for that. That is a no-brainer. That's really very important. And so what Charles and his team really have focused on when creating this PowerPoint presentation is that the people who are the doers, who are the people who go out, they get, of course, great rewarded. And the people who help the network, the people who reach out downline and go deep and really are there to help the team grow, well, they're going to be also greatly rewarded through that compensation plan. What I do love, of course, most is in comparison to what we had before, is that we are now, for every token basically sold, we're going to get commissional volume, which is going to pay out through our network we are building. And it is so wonderful that basically we have the potential to get an unlimited pace at a really unlimited level to get paid out based on the volume. And that is the difference we are creating. So as more volume you with your team you are creating, as of course better the payout will be. So that is basically what I really love most, of course, on that, because this is of course a work which we are doing. We are sharing the information, we gather the information, and we share it, we teach it, and we help people. So let's go and dive into it a little bit here. As you see, with this lucrative compensation plan, obviously financial freedom certainly has arrived there. And as it says here very well, our mission really is to help you, obviously, really build up a great foundation for wealth. Now, there's 8 ways to get paid. This is the fast track bonus, the unilevel bonus, the enroller bonus, the gold leadership bonus, the generational bonus, the direct bonus, the global bonus pool, and the check match bonus. You don't need to learn it all. You don't need to know it all. So just don't worry. You will, of course, get to know it all. In the beginning, it's really important that you just know, okay, so if I bring Elias on board, if I bring Karen on board, what do I get in this moment? Okay, so this is what we're going to touch on because this is really, really important for you guys. So let's move on further here in this presentation. So I just have to get used to as well, but I have to check as well that actually you, the audience, see the slide changes with my slow internet in Dubai, but I'm happy that it's actually working. Now, first of all, the ranks have changed. So the ranks are, the names of the ranks have changed. So we start with affiliate, then we go to bronze, then we go over to bronze elite, and then we do have, of course, the silver elite, and then we have the gold elite, and then we have the diamond, and we have the black diamond, and we have the crown diamond. These are our ranks. So before, in Swissquote Global, we had the same amount of ranks, and well, now we have the same amount of ranks. So basically, that's just the difference. If you were before a platinum ambassador, well, you're now a crown diamond. That is just new ranks, and you see beautiful logos there, which the team has created. Now, the first bonus, of course, is a fast track bonus, and that is really the bonus of course, which has the highest commission. You earn up to 33% on your enrollees' new package purchase price. And of course, fast track yourself to this bonus, and it's paid weekly. So each time, it's a little bit moving too fast, so let me just go back here and stop it. So each time you introduce a new person on whatever that package price is, of that enrollment package. So if it doesn't matter if you buy the first package, which is the 99, or you buy the 170, or you buy the 390, and so on, that has a commission of 33%. So you see easy enrollments, because with free enrollments, really, with free people, you bring free people on board, you're already cash flow positive, you have earned your money back, and you are the holder of STORH tokens. That means they store tokens, as of course Ryan and Randall before said. This is a mid-long-term project which are going to pay you over time. And then, of course, you see here as well, there's a generous compensation, of course, paid through the compensation plan, the Unilevel, and all the other bonuses. So let's move on to the next with my presentation. It's moving a little bit too fast sometimes and a little bit too slow sometimes, but this is really the internet here. Second really important bonus is the Unilevel bonus. So what is this Unilevel bonus? That is the bonus where you're going to get paid on, of course, the team you're building. As deeper down you build, as more bonus you're going to eventually make. So you want to really build deep. Now you want to also build wide, so that's also good. So for stability, because as more people you have also wide in your business, meaning you're gonna, of course, then create stable income. Now the Unilevel bonus pays 7 levels down, and it's based on volume. So €50 membership, for example, would produce 50 volume points. A customer, when the customer purchases 12.5 tokens, cost them currently on the reduced price, it costs them right now €50 for a customer. The customer pays a little bit more than the affiliate. That is why, of course, the affiliate has an advantage, and this is a little bit different than we had it with Swissquote Global before. As you know, with Swissquote Global before, basically on the gold side, on the silver side, the customer and the affiliate had the same price. It was just that the customer and then he didn't have some of the advantages the affiliate had. So here we, of course, our main product is the STORH token. We do have the gold and silver, definitely, and we're going to have the gold-backed token as well in gold or silver. But the main membership product, except for currently United States citizens, is our STORH tokens. The STORH tokens, your membership €50 produces 50 bonus volume. And a customer, again, €50 gets 12.5 tokens and produces 50 bonus volume. In your level 1, and this is just opening up here, the presentation. In your level 1, when you're an affiliate, you're going to get paid 14%, let's say, from that €50. In your level 2, you're going to get, again, paid 14% from that €50, 14%. And that is quite substantial. Now imagine not everybody is just going to buy €50. You will have people buying, be it a customer or be it an affiliate, who may buy for €1,000 STORH tokens. They may buy for €10,000 STORH tokens, and even more. Why? Well, because obviously you want to have stake and ownership of an asset. So every time that happens, of course, in your level 1 from affiliate on, you're going to get 14%. In your level 2, you're also going to get 14% on the volume it is producing. So €1,000, if somebody would buy €1,000 in your level 2, in your network, well, you're making 14% off that. Why? Well, because €1,000 has 1,000 volume points. Now, when you become a bronze, it unlocks another level in your compensation plan. And that gives you an extra 3% in your level 3. So let's say this is here Karen, and Karen has here Ovias, and here is Bill, and here's Steve in her 3rd level. Well, Karen here, if let's say Ovias is buying for $1,000, well, she's getting 14%. If Bill here, which maybe even wasn't introduced by Karen, it is maybe introduced by Ovias, well, Bill is here actually, let's say, buying 100 euros worth, well, Karen is making 14% on that. And Steve here, makes 3% on that, if she is a bronze. Now, let's go to the next one. That is the bronze elite. So you see, you unlock another level here. So you're going to get paid 3% on level 4 on all the purchases happening in the network of Karen. Now let's go the next. We go here silver. When you are on silver rank, you're going to unlock another bonus. So that's actually going to pay you now up to level 5. If you are silver elite, well, same deal here. It's unlocking you another bonus, which is level 6. Going onwards to now gold. Gold does unlock you another bonus, and that is now you're going to pay 7 levels. So 7 levels deep, you get paid once you are a gold. So it's pretty simple from all the purchases. Now the packages, the entry packages, they have a higher uni level. So the entry packages, which is when the first time entry package is being at you buy an All-Star Approach package, they of course pay more. This is really for the recurring orders or for any orders from the downline and of course customers. So 14% total commissions when combined with enroller bonus. And depending on your rank, you will be able, of course, up to earn to 7 levels with this bonus. And this is of course paid monthly. That is your recurring monthly, because if these people, those members, those affiliates, those customers repeat their purchase, you're going to get paid each and every month, of course, the bonus, this is very, very powerful. Now the enroller bonus, as you see here in my next slide, the enroller bonus, so you sponsor, of course, the person, you're the enroller. This bonus is paid monthly on an active member that you personally enrolled, and on an active members enrolled by any independent affiliate enrolled by you. That is the enroller bonus, and the enroller bonus pays 11%. You earn 11% on the members you enroll and 11% on the members enrolled by first level independent affiliates. Pretty awesome. The next bonus, and I'm just going to really skip through that very quick, because we're going to go into a little bit deeper now bonuses, because there's obviously more on that. You see a gold leadership bonus. Once you are a qualified gold is like the old rank ambassador, and we have a few ambassadors on the call tonight. Congratulations to you. So you see here the gold leadership bonus that pays you, of course, then more deep down in your organization. So it's going to pay you another percentage down in your organization on all your volume, which of course is a 2%. So that means if you have level 8, 9, 10, 11, on whatever level, on all those people below level 7, so from level 8 on, you're going to get paid a 2% total group bonus volume. So imagine you have somebody coming on board, and he maybe is gonna buy 10,000 euros worth of course, a store. Well, you're gonna get a 10,000 bonus volume straight away. You make 2% on it. Not bad, and he could be in your 8th, 9th, or 10th level. So very, very good and very lucrative bonus, the gold leadership bonus. And again, you can read all the ins and outs on that bonus in that presentation once the presentation is of course put into the back office, so that you all can download these presentations. And number 5, we have the generational leadership bonus override. As you see, the generational bonus override, that is an amazing bonus, of course. Again, this is a leadership bonus, and this is designed to reward you for your leadership. So everything is about leadership. That is why, okay, you can go out, mass recruit, maybe put some smart videos together, which of course our team is developing, but they never follow up. Or then think, you know, everything is going to work by itself. I never saw that it will work by itself. So you got to actually eventually have a human interaction with people. You want to build a relationship. You want to build a trust. You see, all this business just could come apart now together. I mean, with Ryan and of course with Randall, because of the long relationship Bill has in with them. Of course, having himself had invested many years ago in myself as well. So how it pays: as a qualified gold, you're eligible for generational bonus of 3%. This is a group qualification volume. Beginning with the first leg or higher ranked person in your organization, you will actually earn the 3% generational override. Okay, that is a bonus on that gold or higher title ranked person's entire organizational volume down to the second gold or higher rank in that leg. And the generational bonus override is paid on your gold legs to 3 generations down. Okay, pretty awesome, this bonus right there. Again, this is of course all leadership bonuses. It's not when you start. So that's why I'm gonna skip pretty much quick over them, because it is for the beginner just too much. I just wanted to show you these beautiful slides because they look lovely. Check match bonus, of course, you want to get there because the check match bonus, this is basically when you make, of course, nice money, when the enroller check match bonus is one of the most exciting components of the Utopian Global Compensation Plan, most certainly, because it pays you up to 20% on, of course, the enrolled members of your enrolled members when you have helped them reach a rank. So the check match bonus is available to diamond and above members. So you've got to become a diamond first, and a bonus of 10 to 20% depending on your rank is paid on the total monthly bonus volume earned by every independent affiliate. So if you have one personally enrolled diamond or higher, you make 10% on whatever they make from their uni-level bonus. Whatever they earn in uni-level bonus, you make 10%. Now, 20% check match is one personally enrolled crown diamond. So you really want to help people move up the ranks, and you make 20% on what the crown diamond is actually making, and 15%, of course, what the black diamond is making. Pretty amazing here. And I know we have a lot of questions here coming, so we're going to address those questions. I just want to really run quickly through that presentation, and I'm already over the time, so apologize for that. I wanted to actually make it in 15 minutes, but I'm also still learning that presentation, meaning not learning the presentation, but learning how to move my mouse here. So I just got this sent today, and I'm so grateful for. So the global bonus pool, that is a bonus I wish, of course, so many people would get to achieve, because again, this bonus is a great new bonus or change bonus. It's a little bit different, and the global bonus pool is another way, of course, for top leaders to earn money. A pool divided proportionally between leaders according to their achievement. And the global bonus pool is 1% of the TGQV, that is the total group qualification volume earned by the company in a single year. It's divided into 3 pools: the diamond, the black diamond, and the crown diamond pool, and it pays quarterly. That pays quarterly, great bonus to achieve, of course. And this is why, you know, when you build an organization, again, first of all, you want to build a great fundament, meaning you want to really work with people who are willing to do the work. You want to find and select people and qualify people, you know, to, of course, have the vision like you have. And this is a long-term vision. This is not a short, quick, rich scheme. This is a long-term vision, which is going to pay you a great residual. But of course, like everything, we do need to have to do some work if we want to, of course, earn money from the network. That is clear. So yeah, basically I'm almost at the end. I'm going to come to my number 8 bonus. That is, of course, the bonus you're all used to. That's the gold or silver bonus. Of course, the gold or silver has a little margin. So you have 1% on all the gold or silver personal sales. It's a direct bonus called, and every time you sell to your customers, basically, or affiliates, you sell gold or silver, you're going to make a 1% on that. All right, that bonus, of course, does also pay weekly. Now, the enrollment packages, you see, we have here the basic plus, member, elite package. The basic and the basic plus, this is really for starters. You have the highest price in the token currently. When you start as a member, obviously you get a discount. So I really suggest, if you want to start a business, okay, 99, 170 doesn't sound much, and you know, it's an easy entry, really anywhere almost in the world. But I really encourage you, as long as it is available, because there's not a lot of time that it's available, get the member and higher package. Why? Well, because you get an amazing discount. Your token, you get basically your token at 2.5 euros instead of 3.33 euros. So you see right there, you get more tokens. What happens when you have more tokens? Well, you're going to get eventually paid more rewards. As more tokens you own, as more rewards you eventually will going to get. All right. So what do you get in your packages? You get, of course, the tokens. You get these gold, silver, crypto exchange. You can buy gold, silver wholesale. You have no sellback fees when you sell back. If you're an active member, you have the storage facility, you have the daily referral income, and you have the premium education, and of course then the special feature is, of course, the discount of the member package and higher. So let me go to my next slide. That is, of course, the two highest package. That's the Pro and the All-Star package. And the Pro and the All-Star package, the difference why I always talk first when I sign people in, I would want them to have a look first at the Pro and the All-Star pack. Why? Because the Pro and the All-Star package, right away, what that does actually, it automatically qualifies you to earn the 2% gold leadership override. So you're eligible for that when you buy that Pro All-Star package. What does it mean for you? Well, if you build 8, 9 levels, 10 levels down, you are be qualified to earn, of course, that extra 2% override. So you have to have this Pro or All-Star package in order to be able to get that extra 2% override. So Pro or All-Star package makes totally sense. And it makes totally sense because you get more tokens, because you get the tokens at the discounted price, and it automatically, of course, then qualifies you once you achieve days levels in building your organization. So definitely I would always go for that if you can. But I believe this is now enough. I mean, I can go more into detail, but we are over the hour, way over that I actually wanted to. So I'm going to do with Charles probably together another presentation on the packages very, very soon. And let's go and look at a few questions, pick a few questions before we end this long webinar tonight. I know it's long, I know it's late, and I know some people actually did wait already over an hour because we started late. In fact, there was a misunderstanding on timing. So there's some questions coming, and that question is, can we place affiliates as we could place before? Maybe Bill, you would like to touch on that.
Yes, the answer to that is yes. So what the question really is if Claudia was to sponsor me, and let's say she's sponsoring many people frontline, can she move me further down into her downline somewhere else? It's just a strategic placement. The answer to that is absolutely yes, you can actually do that, and therefore, in one sense, you'll always be my sponsor, but you'll always pick up the the commissions and the volume from that. You don't really lose anything out from that, but at the same time, you're structuring your organization to maximize payouts as well and rank advancements. So that stays the same. But listening to the presentation, I mean, it was changing very, very slow for me. And I know it was left the last 12, 13 minutes to get through a lot of content, of course. But what really comes to my mind is, one sense, you have a global business here, where one, you can actually ownership in real tangible assets that will generate income. Two, you enroll 3 people, you've already got your money back in that respect on the short-term income. So if you enroll 3 people, you're already in the money. So there's no real reason for anyone, and you can get started from as little as $99 one-time payment, and then 50 euros a month, which gives you STORH tokens as ownership. There's no reason for anyone really to put themselves into financial jeopardy here. This is giving all people the opportunity to own an international business and own ownership in real tangible assets, which will be income generating. To me, that's exceptionally exciting. Enroll 3 people, you got your money back, of course. And then as your organization grows, 7 people anywhere in your first 2 levels, you're already covering your monthly membership. Your monthly membership is your 20 STORH tokens as an affiliate. So you're getting your 20 STORH tokens for free each month when you've got 7 people in your organizational structure, anywhere in your first 2 levels. So they're pretty powerful. As a business person who likes to look at numbers and look at sustainability, which is really important, they're key factors. And I think also when you listen to Randall and you listen to Ryan speak about their experience, you know you're involved with a real team here. And once you get to read through the white paper and see the extended team that's associated on the ground with these particular assets, I think you're going to be very, very impressed. And this is something that you can be confident to share with other people and get rewarded for doing so.
Absolutely. And of course we have, as you know, we have lots of affiliates in the United States who unfortunately can't participate in the STORH token, but they can with the gold or silver, and we have packages for them with the gold or silver. So Janella, she was a manager, she would be a bronze right now. And Reggie's asking, currently in the US, what would that be in silver or gold?
Well, hi Reggie. It's the equivalent value, whatever the STORH tokens are in value per package. That'll be the same value in silver that you would actually get in the near future. You'll have the opportunity for it to be gold as well. But primarily, whatever the STORH token in value per package is, that's the equivalent that members in the US would actually get in precious metals. Now, with that said, it won't happen this year because this year is just about done, isn't it? We're heading into December already. Certainly in 2019, dealing with Ryan and the STORH company, they're getting legal counsel how they could actually make it work in the US, but it's going to take some time. But when it does come, we'll make, when it does become legal for US citizens to own STORH, we'll make the opportunity available as what the people have today. We've already addressed that with Ryan, Randall and the team, so they're happy to do that as well. But because we understand it's pretty disappointing, isn't it? But that's just the way it is, and we don't want you or other people in the US or ourselves to get into trouble or jeopardize the greater picture or the greater plan of this particular project. So we need to honour the laws at all times in that respect.
Absolutely. And of course, as you saw here, because there's some question coming to the rank, advancement, bonuses, and so on, what we're going to do moving forward, we're going to have different kinds of incentives now and then, of course, where we will do some free months rallies, so to achieve a certain rank, to achieve a certain volume, where we will build up different kind of bonuses, which will of course vary. So that is why we haven't, just a question, that's why we don't have those rank advancement which we had before with Swiss Gold Global. So we decided to do now and then some other incentives, challenges for you, so that you can maybe win a trip. Everybody wants to go on a trip. Obviously, that's something what everybody wishes, where we can take you to Texas, where we can take you to Dubai or other places. So we're going to do that from time to time. Of course, yes, so this is basically to that question. Another question is coming, of course, on the different ranks. So we have crown diamonds, of course, and Another question is coming on the gold. Do gold not get check match now? No, the gold is not a check match, so it has been moved up simply because the compensation plan has been made easier as of rank level achievements, and we have of course built up more commissions upfront, especially on those enrollment packages, so that people make up more commissions in there straight away, because at the end of the day people want to have the cash yesterday. They don't want to have it today, they want to have and get paid yesterday, don't they? So we may have moved as much as possible commissions upfront, straight ahead. When you actually bring on board new people, that's where most of the commissions go into this new compensation plan. Another question.
Just on that, Claudia. Just on that, Claudia. Let me just touch on that briefly. First of all, I think because we're late starting tonight's call, and I must say that's my mistake, everyone. So I apologise now. Just these time zones have just got me. So I made a mistake there. So I think we should do a call Thursday night. And we should invite Charles onto the call, highly experienced member in this industry. And I think you and him could do a presentation, Claudia, and go through and address many of these questions regarding the pay plan. We'll have more time to spend on the pay plan and also the presentation. I mean, the pay plan is one thing. The pay plan pays. And we could have these rank advancement bonuses all in there in one sense, but the money's got to come from somewhere. And I'm a great believer. We're not dealing with air tokens here. We're dealing with tokens that are going to have real assets behind it. So if we pay out, we're paying out a lot of money already. When you look at the money, enroll 3 people, you've got your money back. You look at the unit levels we pay out, the check match bonuses, the pay plan pays out very, very, very well. And we're going to have other incentives as well, as what Claudia said. But our key focus as the operation here is to put as much money into the assets, into the STORH tokens. That's where your real wealth's going to be on the long term as well. Yes, we could actually give you some things here, some things there, but it's got to come from somewhere. It means when we take it from there, we're going to take it out of the STORH tokens, or we're going to take it out of some other bonuses. We don't want to do that. We want to be very transparent. This pay plan pays very, very, very well. It's very transparent, and it's structured in such a way that you can get your money back and minimize your risk. And there will be trips, and we even believe, I won't say it right now, but it's early days yet, but there'll be some very, very strong incentives for people who achieve higher ranks, etc., that you'll be able to win. But Claudia, would Thursday night be, I don't know what your travel schedule is, whether Thursday night we can reschedule. We'll send an email out anyway regarding this.
And I have another question here, Bill, coming. That is from basically Stan. Stan is asking, when will we be able to see, okay, there's another subject, when will we be able to see the account balance of silver and gold we had in SGG in Utopian?
I think it was Stan, was it? At the moment, you can still see it, as you're aware, in Swiss Gold Global. So there's 2 modules still to be transitioned over to Utopian Global. One is the precious metals, but you can see your account in SGG, so it's transparent there. But all the history, etc., has to be transferred over to Utopian Global. I would expect that in the next week to happen, and then of course we're going to take all the history from the mining across as well. So it's a huge. Those 2 databases are mega good, especially the precious metals, because it goes back 11 years. So that's the major one. But I'd say the next week that will be done.
Fantastic. Okay, I got a lot of questions here. Will the webinar notice be transitioned? Will the webinar notices be transitioned over to? Reggie, I don't understand your question. I'm sorry for that. Will the webinar notices be transitioned over to?
Yeah, well, primarily what Reggie's saying, I think, Claudia, is that in Utopian Global, you don't see the webinars listed in Utopian Global right now. The only way you can see them is in the emails or when you log into the Swiss Gold Global back office account. So that's also got to be done, Reggie. That's not far away at all.
Fantastic. And all right, so this is now way over the hour, so I know a lot of people already have been tired here. Karen, we're going to answer, of course, all your questions on the volume there. Again, like, I think this plan is easier than before, very much easier than before, because again, you're going to get paid on each and every sales your team is doing. Before, of course, the gold, the crypto wouldn't do volume because it wouldn't produce really volume. Now you're going to get paid on the volume, which is of course amazing. So I'm going to talk about that with you. Tristan is asking, he needs help from his upline. So Tristan sent us an email to support@utopianglobal.com. That is support@utopian.global.com. We will reach out to you. Stan is asking, Bill, are you saying the compensation plan will work basically the same way using silver or gold for people in the US? Is so, this is cool.
No, I didn't say the compensation plan will work the same. What I'm actually let me just rephrase this. The packages, if a 99 package has X value of STORH tokens in there, it'll have the same value in silver in that particular package. So the packages, whatever the value is in STORH tokens, will be substituted for precious metal initially. Now on the monthly plan, the pay plan will work exactly the same. Pay plan will work exactly the same regarding the fast track commissions, the unilevel commissions. That'll work exactly the same, except your product, instead of being STORH, is going to be precious metals. That's really it.
Wonderful. Well, with that, we are going to end this webinar. Thank you so much. We're going to do another presentation on the compensation plan together with Charles very soon. And thank you for all your, of course, time that you spent listening to us here. So apologize again for that mess up basically in the time zone that we came on 1 hour later and we still had people staying on and waiting. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic evening, morning, or wherever you are in the world. I know we have people here from Australia on the call, so that's early morning over there. Thank you, Bill, and thank you, everybody, and good night.
Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, everyone.